Well, another day, another project. And last week, Enderly called me and told me that my fuel pump was done. If you've been following the videos, I've had quite a bit of trouble with it. Apparently, last time I sent it back to him, I think that with the end play was a little tight. And since I drive the car on the street, I went about 5 miles. The pump must have got warm and locked up. And you can see right here, this is my drive shaft. It just twisted it and broke it in half. Now, the drive shaft you see here is the same piece sticking out here. All right, you can see the bottom half here. It goes through this spacer, which spaces the fuel pump out away from the motor. If anybody's not too familiar with mechanical fuel injection and a mechanical fuel pump, but basically this mounting flange you see right here, it's got bolts where it clamps, is going to get mounted onto here like that. And then the shaft extension you see here gets mounted onto this. That'll get bolted together like that. And then you can see the shaft piece here. Let me pull this apart quick. Come on. This piece here goes on to the end of the camshaft. I'm going to show you in there. That's a piece they call a spud piece. That's bolted to the end of the camshaft. And you can see the hex in the center. So this piece here, I don't know how good this video is, but anyway, this hex will line up with that, just like that, and then that'll bolt to the engine plate, and then you have, of course, the adapter and the pump will bolt here. Let me put all the fittings and stuff back on the pump. I got the shut-off valve right here to bypass the pump saver, and the idle check valve line goes back to the motor. So let me get this hooked up. I'll hook up the camera and let you see it go back together. Well, I'm going to start putting the fittings back on the pump. First thing I need to do is take 2 of the pump bolts out and put on the the fuel shutoff cable. All right, next thing we're going to do is go ahead and mount this onto the engine plate. I'm going to put the spacer on. I had to put a little sealer around the face. The engine plate in the front is also the timing cover for the timing. Because I don't run a timing cover, I'm using the engine plate as a timing cover. So if I don't seal this, it could leak oil. One more thing. I got the spacer on. Next thing I'm going to do is put on this collar that clamps onto the pump, bolts onto here. As you can see here, we got it all back on. The only thing I'm not going to do is hook up the fuel inlet. Comes in on the bottom. This is the line right here for the fuel. But I run a lot of Marvel Mystery Oil through the fuel tank and flush the lines. So before I hook up the fuel inlet line, and I want to put a little bit of methanol back in the tank, and I'm going to flush it out to get any oil that's sitting in that line out, you know, before I go to start it. So for some of the people that are not too familiar with it, like I said, the fuel comes in right here at the bottom, comes out right here at the top. And then when the fuel is turned on, like here, the fuel continues straight through this valve, through this line up here in the back, through this line right here, and that's what feeds the barrel valve. These two are check valves with return lines. This one here, they call a pump saver, so that if I shut the fuel off and the motor keeps spinning, it's pumping fuel. And you can't deadhead it when you close this valve right here. So it opens this valve and sends this fuel back to the tank. This is the idle circuit check valve. It keeps 4 PSI in here at an idle. And then anything over that, it returns it back to this line. So these two lines are return lines. Coming down here, and they return to this fuel log right here. You see these two? And what this does is when you shut the, when this is returning fuel to here, it comes out the bottom, and you see there's a hose on the other side here that goes back down, and it tees into this on the other side. So it's just looping around the pump to not build up pressure. Same thing when you shut the fuel off right here and the motor's still coasting to a stop, this gear pump is still pumping fuel, and you can't deadhead it because you'll blow up the pump. So as you shut off the fuel here, it diverts the fuel back through here into this log, back to this line, and then back to the suction side, so it doesn't blow up the pump. So basically that's how it works. Well, I explained the other part in some of my other videos you can look up on my channel. about how the distribution block works and the lines to the injector nozzles, and basically how the barrel valve works and controls the fuel. But for now, I want to wait. Like I said, I'm planning to go to that Run to the Sun show in March. Will probably be the first show I go to with it. So I'm going to wait till like maybe 2 weeks before the show and then flush the oil out of the fuel lines, put methanol back in it, take it out for a test run, and make sure everything's okay about a week or two before we get ready to go to the show. Well, I appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget, hit the subscribe. Helps my channel a lot. And again, thanks for watching.